just a great basketball game. Game of runs. I thought we started the game just fantastic, about as well as we can play against their zone. Did a pretty good job defending. Then I thought the game turned a little bit. I thought Gary Air and Dolage started to hurt us on the glass, and they played much better, a little more inspired there in the middle of the first half. And then, you know, second half was just a back and forth street fight. Certainly it was hard there when we had the bad play where we made a three, fouled them, F1, 2 free throws, ball back. Now it's like 50-41, and lost some air in the building for sure. But just give our kids a lot of credit. Our guys have been resilient all season. We just kind of battle and played better. Tevin really got us going. I talked a lot at halftime about I didn't think our defense was quite as good as it needed to be. I thought it was very good in the second half, and I thought we needed to get a couple of energy baskets, effort baskets off offensive rebounds and hustle plays, and I thought Tevin got a couple of those, and Tevin and Clyde just both played an exceptional half and second half, and for us to find a way to win that game was big time for us. So really proud of our players.
Coach, if anybody had told you that Amir would only have his first bucket in the last minute of the game, you'd only be down 1 point, would you believe that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think sometimes Amir's value is way more than just the scoring. Obviously, we need him to score more, but some games are not going to be that for him. Like, I thought his defense was outstanding tonight. He wasn't guarding a primary player, but his help, his extending on screens, his rotations, his box outs, and just I thought he made some terrific plays. And you know, offensively, he made better plays late. He probably wasn't as good early against the zone as we would have liked. He was better in practice, but you know, obviously, we need other guys to step up, and we're going to have 2 or 3 guys play really well. We had Clyde and Tevin have fantastic games.
Brad, what was your instructions there with 11 seconds to go when y'all coming out of that timeout?
Yeah, just you know, we're going to switch screens and just try to keep in front of us. You know, we didn't want to foul them. Let's make them make a tough play. You know, and then as we get a rebound, let's go play and see what happens. And if I don't like what I see, I'll call timeout. But if I like what I see, I'm gonna let you go. And you know, Kayvon's good in the open court like that. He got the rebound. Our guys ran, which was outstanding. We got ahead. Kayvon made a nice little crossover dribble and a fantastic pass to Clyde. And it wasn't an easy finish, but Clyde made a great play. It was really good basketball. You know, I think sometimes fans and media, everybody, you know, you want us to like call some get it to half court, get it to the other side, call timeout, try to organize. That's hard. Like, that's really hard. And so oftentimes you're better off letting guys go. Like in the open floor, if you feel like they have a chance. You know, obviously a year ago it didn't work out against North Carolina. Tonight it did. Those are decisions you make as a coach as you're watching a play go, hoping that your guy can either make a play to the basket, get fouled. And tonight our guys made an exceptional play.
Psychologically, how resilient does your team have to be when they're just throwing those daggers from?
You know, they're hard to play against. They don't turn it over. They don't pass as much. They don't run as much, you know, complex offense as some people. And maybe Coach Boeheim's really smart for that. Like, why try to do all that stuff when you're really just trying to get it to the best player anyway? So, like, why not just give it to him and let him start with it and make plays? And you know, oftentimes it's hard to guard. So, you know, that it keeps their turnovers down. They have good enough one-on-one players that their guys can get in the lane and score. Like, obviously, Buddy has become an unbelievable player. His development in the offseason, I mean, he's a good player last year. Now he's a great player. Obviously, Elijah Hughes is as good as it gets. And then Girardi's good. You got 3 guys that can all shoot, so you help. Now they're shooting a 3. You don't help. Those guys are good enough to get in the lane, score over you. They got big guys around the rim to rebound. Like, it's hard to deal with. You know, and because of the way they play, I think it helps them on the road because they don't get rattled. Like, they're not trying to execute all these intricate schemes. They just keep it simple and so they don't really get as rattled in away environments. It feels like they just kind of do what they do, and sometimes it's a tough shot, but they usually get a shot. And so they're hard to play against. They're a handful.
Some of the wins that
this
you had,
can- some of the wins that you had earlier this month were against, aggressive man-to-mans, and you can run all your motion stuff. How impressed were you your guys were able to execute against that kind of zone and win a different way?
Well, it's funny, when you play them, you better have about 4 different things you're trying to figure out, because we started the game doing 1 or 2 things. It worked, looks great. We score right away, several possessions, and then all of a sudden, boom, lull. They make an adjustment. You're not getting some of the same things. Now what are you going to do? And it's hard. And again, it's the 40 minutes of it. It's the way that they adjust to what you do better than anybody else, because that's what they do. And so you better have several different things that you're looking at, and you just kind of keep trying to find them and changing sometimes, coming back to one. At the end of the day, these games are about players making plays. And Tevin Mack got into the high post and made plays. And, that jump-started our offense. It got guys some confidence. We made some other plays out of it. But it was really us getting the ball to a good player in a good area and letting him make plays. And tonight he was able to do it.
Brad, how difficult is it for a guy like Kevin, who's had so many voices from so many different places telling him how to play the game, to get comfortable and perform like this?
Yeah, I think, one thing that's been overlooked a little bit is Tevin's a primary player for us. He's a guy we need to score. He's a guy we told him that when we recruited him. Told him that 4 years ago when I recruited him. It wasn't as appealing then. Got more appealing when he didn't get to do it as often at some other places as he thought he was. I'm sure they told him the same things. But anyway, it is. I think it's harder than people realize, especially if you haven't been that guy for 2 or 3 years, and now all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to, and then early in the year, I don't think people scouted him as much, so he's scoring, and then he goes through a drought, and he's struggling, and now he's kind of come back a little bit. And what was great tonight is, he made baskets without making threes. He found other ways to score. That's what we've kind of been encouraging him to do, is be more than a three-point shooter. And but I think it's more difficult than people realize when you're not kind of wired that way for the last couple of years to just kind of have that much freedom, to now all of a sudden, you're expected to do it and we need you to do it. And he's had several games like this where he's been special.
Coach, how big was it when Dolajai fouled out with 8 minutes left, and then their other big man?
It was important. He's a good player. He's a glue guy. Amir does a lot of that glue stuff for us. He does it for them. Plays the 5, plays the 4. He's improved. He's really good driving the ball to the basket. Good offensive. He's quicker off his feet. He's more athletic than people realize. Like he is. He's got a quick second jump, and that's part of why he's a good driver. Is he's quick off the first step, and then he's quick into his little shots. He's a very good player.
Brad, what's been different with Clyde the last 2 games? Seems like he's got his confidence back.
Yeah, I think just making a couple plays, feeling good about it. I think today's game being a little more slow-paced probably helps him. That's a lot of minutes for him to play right now, but because the game was, they're kind of slow on offense, you're slow on offense, I don't think it was as grueling 34 minutes as some games can be. And so I think he had his legs under him the whole time. I think he was comfortable, made some shots early, was confident. So I think all of it kind of played into it.
Was
the halftime adjustment to put Tevin at that spot more?
Yeah,
Sort of
try to get
replace-
Tevin in there a little more. We're going to try to get Clyde in there some. Amir struggled a little more than we thought he would. I think he's better in there than he played tonight. He just maybe didn't have as good a performance today, but that was one of the main things we were trying to do.
Hunter had the career game against Wake last week, and he didn't start the last 2 games. Is that just a personnel matchup
Just
type of thing?
My decision. Just, Hunter's a good player, and Tevin Mack's a good player. And today Tevin Mack had it rolling, so it was harder for Hunter.
Brad, sorry if this came up when I was
Sure.
out here, but with 11 seconds to go and 1 on the shot clock, did it actually help did Syracuse's shot hit the rim instead of being a violation?
Good
So you were
point.
able to get transition?
Probably did, yeah, I think it absolutely did. No question about it, because it enabled us to, make a play and get into the open floor. I hadn't thought about that initially, but I think that's a great observation. But that's a tough one, what are you supposed to, you can't just take the violation. You just gotta play through it, and we were fortunate that we got a clean rebound and got a good head start. And then our guys executed. They really came on, made a great play. I mean, he got it coming full speed, crossed it over, and our guys ran and got to the open spot. And wasn't as easy a shot, I don't think, as it looked, especially with 2 or 3 seconds to go to win the game.
Is Clyde's rebounding underappreciated? He had some big ones there in the second half.
Yeah, I think that's, we talked to Clyde a lot. Today he scored, but I've told you guys several times, he might have 6 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, and he settles our team, so he's done a lot of really good things in the game. I think he's a versatile guy. I think he can do a lot of different things. He's not wired to average 17 points a game, but he can get you 17 in a game. He can do a lot of different things, guard multiple personnel, play with different people. I made a decision to play Al and Clyde together. I think Al, although I don't think he played great, I do think he's an energy giver, and there's a spark that comes with his play. Kern was having a little bit of a tough day, and so I just decided to go Al and Clyde for a while, and I thought that Al's energy was really good on both ends, and I thought it helped, and